Hi, everyone. Hello, 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 and good morning, good afternoon, good day. Depends on where you are. I am super excited to welcome you all to the first Obsidian webinar. Let's just call it a brunch or, lunch webinar. Uh, how are you all doing? So, um, today we're just going to dive right into the topic for the day. And I think I'm just very excited. Trying to call every person who has indicated interest to join us live right away. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. Hi, everyone. My apologies for that. Welcome to the first January webinar about Obsidian Advisory. And to begin with the year in an incredible way will mean that you have necessary information to guide your choices in the course of the year. This webinar, as um, indicated, it's really to look at the high demand skills for fashion creatives. At Obsidian Advisory, we conduct a lot of interviews and we recruit for fashion businesses and organizations in the fashion space. And um, some of the discoveries that we've made is that when we put up a vacancy and we have individuals or talents apply for these vacancies, they are unsure as to what skills are required, or they're unsure of the kind of skills to disclose or talk about in an interview. When they're applying as well, when you look through the CV, sometimes you just see roles or a resume that doesn't necessarily cut it for a certain role. And to that end, we are putting together this webinar. In this webinar, we're going to focus on skills that are very relevant for fashion creatives across board. If you're a newbie, if you're a nerd, if you've been in an industry for a while, if you're seeking to transit from a certain role to another, if you're exploring a new field in fashion, whatever it is, we're going to discuss some of the skills that are extremely important for you to have and for you to leverage on in terms of getting opportunities. So in 2024, one thing is clear: businesses are more structured, or businesses are seeking to implement a lot of structural strategies in their organizations, and fashion in particular in Nigeria and West Africa. We're witnessing a shift from just a one-man business to a proper, well set up business with systems and structures. And the implication of this is that there will be designated roles that require designated skill sets. Now, some of these roles um, could require you to do certain things or apply transferable skills that you already have, while some of these roles might be new to you, but they pique your interest, but you don't have the skill set for those roles. So um, this webinar will help you clarify the necessary roles or necessary skill set that you should have for you to be creative, um, building a career in the fashion space. Now, for a company in the fashion industry to build structure, some certain fields or departments are necessary: business development, strategy, procurement, facility management, operations, customer service. I can go on and on. Pretty much the same um, structural setup that you will find in the white collar industry. I mean, organizations that are known for being very structured. Most of those roles apply now for fashion businesses, and many companies in Nigeria and West Africa are obviously ready to take the bold step. But most often than not, it's difficult for them to find talents that fit these roles. So we are imploring creatives to take advantage of the series of tips and acts and counsels that will come out of this webinar. Um, One of the things you could do post webinar is to upskill yourself, take on courses that are relevant for the roles or the skill set required for your role, such that when opportunities come, you are able to um, apply for the roles. Hi, it's nice to see you, Samuel Oyugo. Opportunities come and you're able to apply for these roles. It's great to have you here. So we're just going to dive right in. I would implore you to stay through the course of this webinar. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to share a few, what's it called, a few vacancies that we've had just this month, the first month of 2024. And one of the dilemmas we're facing at Obsidian Advisory is finding the right talents for these roles. So we are dedicated to sharing the right information to talents in the industry and also talents outside the industry with relevant skills or skill sets required for most of these roles in the fashion space. So without much further ado, I'm going to just begin with one of the most important skill sets that talents should have. Talents we want to grow, in their careers in the fashion space. And that skill set is writing skills. And now I categorized most of the skill sets into four. So we have writing skills, we have sales, we have business management, and then we have Excel. Now, I'm going to begin with writing skills. Writing skills encompasses a lot. So, pardon me, I'm going to go through my jottings to guide this conversation. Okay, so off the top of my head, from most of the things that I've seen, young talents have easily let go of young talents have easily let go of the basics of the English language, and this is a big problem. You cannot let go of basics, right? Basics of writing, basics of editing and proofreading your work, which in turn would be useful when you get on a job, should you have roles that require this skill set. Now, writing skills include spelling and vocabulary. You have to get yourself in tune with all these basics. Again, you have to make sure that you're deliberate, you are alert, you're aware of the content you're putting together, right? Now, the bulk of the details I'll be sharing in the writing skills category applies to individuals who are interested in content writing, um, journalism within the fashion industry, research, and the likes. They are also relevant to virtually all non-technical skills, non-technical roles in the fashion space. So should you want to be a business manager, you want to be an operations manager, name the field. Writing is a basic skill that you must have. I know that right now everybody's talking about AI and using ChatGPT and similar tools to just explore the ease of working. But if there's anything that I have learned, it's the fact that even while you're using these tools, your foundational knowledge or your foundational skills have to align. Like you still need to have the skills to leverage these tech tools for your job. You cannot simply put your questions on the tech tool and then you copy and paste. It's a bit shabby. So if you possess the writing skills basics, one thing is clear: you're able to make use of writing tools or writing tech tools like ChatGPT, and you can refine the results you get, make them extremely personal and interactive. These are some of the things that AI might not necessarily give you all the way. You understand the context with which you want to write. So you want to leverage your own skill set as well as these AI tools, right? So um, for anybody interested in most of these roles, you're looking at research skills. Some of all these sub skills, you can take free courses in them, you can learn them on YouTube. But the most important thing is to brush up on all of these skills. We would always be required to write, to document, to write memos, to write reports, to write different kinds of documents, even for fashion organizations. Now, some other things that you want to write, you want to equip yourself with would be the ability to tell stories, which would come in from writing, right? In this case, how to write stories, how to write headliners with compelling story forms, how to write CTAs. CTAs are described as call to action. So let's assume that you work with a brand that does a lot of email marketing. You would be required to do a lot of CTAs. So your content in your newsletters or your emails that you send to your customers have to be such that can um, re- can make your customers or your audience react. How do you want them to react? Positively, which could be click on the link in the bio to get a copy. Whatever you say in the body of that email is simply a tool that comes out of your writing skills. Do you see what I mean? So now in today's world, there's something called digital media literacy. Captions as well as um, content that you put up on social media, be it videos, images, reels, whatever it is, requires writing. You can't just work with a brand and wake up in the morning, you go online and then you start typing. No. What you literally will do is to create your content, right? Creating your content also requires learning to use your foundational skills in writing, which is extremely important. So, writing skills remain top and are most relevant today in 2024. I've had cases where I'm recruiting for a content writer, and content writer does not know how to write newsletters. It's a problem. Doesn't know how to create captions for social media posts. Doesn't know how to draft an article for LinkedIn or a blog. Now, I'm not saying that you have to become a blogger or a journalist. I'm just saying that what bloggers and journalists have leveraged on are the foundational skills of writing, right? And the more you equip yourself or the more you practice these basic skills, the more you improve on it and the more you can actually put them in your resume to state that you have great writing skills. And when you're applying for roles, there are transferable skills that you can actually leverage on, especially as a newbie. You're coming into the industry, you want a job that pays fairly well. For example, a social media manager or content creator, you need to up your writing skills because in the interview, you will be asked if you can create newsletters. What would you say? You'll be asked if you can come up with catchy and interactive captions, right? So in creating content, the ability to be creative, to create stories in words are crucial. I'm going to come back to some of the job roles, right? So let's just continue on that right into all the skills that are actually high demand in 2024. The next one we'll be talking about is Excel. Now, most creatives will say, I don't like numbers, I don't like mathematics, I'm not a fan of further maths and the likes, the likes. However, for creatives, coming into the industry or looking for opportunities in the industry, Excel is crucial. Businesses are gaining structures, businesses are building structures, and one of the skills that you can leverage on or make use of and loud is your ability to use Excel, manipulate Excel. It could be Google Sheet and it could be the Excel, right? So the traditional Excel by Microsoft, the Office suite. Now, how do you make use of Excel? These tools are essential for businesses. They use Excel for virtually everything and anything in businesses. use it for data collection. They use it to organize the company and activities within the company, such as sales, inventory, um, working with vendors and suppliers. Excel can be also used for project management. So if you're not conversant with using Excel, you want to explore learning how to use Excel, which is obviously easily accessible today just by YouTube. So check out YouTube, check out short courses that can gain you certifications, that you can earn certifications and put on your resume, because they are going to become things you can leverage on while you're exploring opportunities in the industry. So you want to learn Excel. Excel is used for data analysis. They use it also for tracking expenses, tracking sales. Use Excel for collating client records, right? Their phone numbers, their details, and similar things like that. It's also used for feedback collation, right? Most of you have filled one form or the other, Google Forms, one Google form or the other. Most of the time, the results from these Google Forms are transferred to an Excel document or a Google Sheet. So you want to learn how to use Excel, how to manipulate Excel documents here and there, how to edit them, how to create them. If you are called to work on a project, Excel will be one of the tools that you definitely need to know how to use. It's the easiest project management tool that a newbie or an amateur or budding professional should learn how to use. Now I'm going to move on to sales. Sales is broad. Now, what are you selling? If you're working with any fashion organization, um, there are different kind of businesses. There are bespoke, there are retail brands, there are haute couture brands, and there are brands that offer services. So sales becomes one factor that you find across board. What are the sales activities that are required for businesses? They need to sell products. They need to sell ideas or sell services. And while you are involved in sales, there are a lot of things you need to learn how to use, or a lot of things you need to have as foundational skills, which is what I'm talking about in this webinar. You want to know how to communicate effectively. You want to revamp or brush up on your writing skills. You are going to put together communiques. You're going to put together sales pitch. You're going to put together sales captions that must be intriguing enough for customers to react to positively, right? You want to know how to understand customers. Sales is quite a broad field. Customer persona is there. Right under sales, you have um, customer service management, which are things that you can learn and take some short courses on. Leveraging these certifications can help you get jobs in this regard. There are sales associates needed. People who work in retail stores, what do? They simply interact with customers, help understand their body type, understand their needs, easy, such as events they're going to and the likes, and they make use of that kind of information to help them buy or to help them opt on one service or the other, right? So sales is key. You have to know how to sell. I think that any business that finds a talent that knows how to sell would quickly take advantage of that talent. So if you're one looking for opportunities, you want to master the ability to sell, how to persuade customers, how to convince customers. And this comes with learning how to be resilient and persuasive, consistency. Those are some of the things that come with being great at sales, right? You also want to learn negotiation skills. This is particularly intriguing um, if you are helping businesses that have services. For example, there are businesses that cater to fashion organizations, and what they simply do is to provide them with models, create video contents for them, and the likes. Now, businesses will come to you and try to bargain. Your ability to negotiate and find a win win solution for both your organization, which you represent, and your client or potential clients is what you call a negotiation skill. So you need to learn negotiation skills. All of these skills are easily accessible to upskill and learn online. There are free courses on Udemy, free courses on Coursera. And if you are simply just interested in learning the skills, you can leverage on YouTube. One of the reasons why I say get certified is because this boosts your resume. When a person looks through your resume and they see the series of certifications that you have lined up, they're able to say, okay, this person is deliberate about exploring this pathway. They've gone ahead to take a certification course in negotiation. They've gone ahead to take a certification course in digital marketing. So they truly, truly are interested in exploring sales as a journey. And the one thing about sales is that the plethora of opportunities. Every organization is looking for a sales rep, is looking for a sales associate or a sales manager, right? And it's beyond just the front end store, it's also back end. How to make cold calls, how to do follow ups, how to interact with your retained clientele list, and the likes, right? So, another thing you want to learn is product knowledge. How can you be an expert in product knowledge? Um, there's a short course training right now. It's called Product Owner, and a lot of people assume it's just for tech. It's not just for tech. This is a knowledge, or this is a skill set that can be applied even in the fashion industry. Why am I saying this? A lot of fashion businesses are leveraging technology. So a product owner can easily work in the fashion space, right? You know how to design products, you know how to understand products, and with a good understanding of a product, which could also be a service, you are easy. It is easy for you to sell to anybody and sell to everybody, or to your targeted audience. Pardon me. Now, I would then move on to business skills. Business skills is quite dicey. One of the things I always begin with when it comes to business skills, I focus on two or three areas: legals, business planning, and strategy. Legals. So there are short courses right now that are available. I can refer you to a few. If you're interested, kindly just post a comment right there in the comment box, and I would indicate places where you can take short courses for legal knowledge in the fashion space. Understanding legals and conversations surrounding IP and the likes for fashion businesses gives you an upper hand when you're applying for opportunities. Businesses are able to trust your skills or your ability to um, spot legal challenges or solve legal issues within the organization. Now, if you already have some of this background, you can just brush it up because they become relevant in job applications. Another thing you want to leverage, as mentioned, will be strategies, basics of business strategies. It's extremely important. We've had a role vacant for a while, brand strategy role, which has been vacant for a while. And one of the reasons why this role remains vacant is simply because fashion talents applying for these roles do not meet the required mark. And why don't they? Some of them don't even have the ability to speak the right language or terminologies for strategies in business, not to talk of fashion business. Do you see? So I think that learning strategies, strategic decision making, critical thinking, and being able to analyze and being analytical, they are extremely important, right? Um, Upon taking short course or learning these things, one thing is sure: it boosts your confidence, it improves your resume, and it also gives you higher chances to apply for roles. This is a it's a win-win. You have the necessary skill set an organization is looking for, a skill set similar to yours. There's a match, right? Okay, Victoria is saying she's interested. Hi, Victoria Princess. Okay, so if you are just getting to know about Obsidian and our YouTube page, please follow us. I would indicate a short course that you can take on fashion law and shortly. Okay, let me just round up with the business part. Now, the last part is business planning. One major tool that every newbie entrepreneur, budding professional must learn to use, create, and understand is business plans. You don't need to have a business to understand what a business plan is. You don't need to have a business to know how to design a business plan or to know the intricacies of a business plan. You actually need you actually need to know what a business plan is. You need to know how to design one or the basic requirements of a business plan. One good thing to learn is the business model canvas. Anytime a person is about to start a business, that's the one thing that will be demanded of that person. So as an entrepreneur or as a startup or budding professional, go and learn what business planning entails, how to design a business plan, the parts of the business plan that is crucial, and what is required for those roles or for those aspects of a business plan. Now, I've talked about management, I've talked about sales, I've talked about writing, and I've also talked about um, relevant skills like a knowledge of Excel. Now, at this point, in summary, I would just say that most of all of these things I've discussed, they play into several roles, and I'm going to mention some of these roles, or mention the categories that these skills become relevant for. If you're interested in event management, you need to know how to use Excel. You need to know how to write. You need to understand sales speech, right? You need to know how to use um, what's it called, project management tools, which, by the way, Excel is one of the basic project management tools out there, right? If you're interested in documenting or creating proposals, pitch decks, writing is crucial. Now, there are businesses that you would work with and they need to get sponsors, partners, collaborate with other companies, and they need to create this kind of documents. You would leverage on your existing skills if you have them. And now, sharing this with you in January is to just say to you that there's a whole lot of opportunities out there, and you can leverage learning all of the things I've shared to take advantage of the opportunities out there. At Obsidian, we always have recruitment needs. We always find vacancies that we need to fill. And one thing is certain: individuals who have secured opportunities through Obsidian, they have always met their standards. There's a standard that is constantly growing. And right now in the fashion industry in Nigeria and West Africa, the bar is high, it's getting high. If you're not great at writing, if you don't understand how to use Google Workspace or Microsoft Office suite, you don't know how to uh, translate a business idea into a business model canvas or business plan or create a strategy around an idea. You don't understand sales and the intricacies of sales, which includes email marketing, digital marketing, content writing, or newsletter, or name them. If you do not understand these basic things, then you would struggle to secure an opportunity, right? So I'm saying this to you because opportunities abound. Kindly take on most of all that we've shared with you today and pick one or two areas that you can begin to improve upon. Get certified and update your resume and apply for roles, and you will definitely land those roles. Before I end this webinar, I'm going to talk about a course that you can all take. It is by Africa Fashion Law. I think um, it's introduction to fashion law, and I think that anyone interested in working as a business manager, you're interested in anyone interested in working as a business manager, you're interested in Right. So anyone interested in business management, interested in sales manager roles, operations manager, content strategist or content writer, social media writer, should definitely explore all the different skills that has been discussed today. Now, for those interested in the fashion law, um, equipping themselves with fashion law basics, you can visit social media handle Africa Fashion Law. I'm putting it right there in the comment section. I think that you can definitely find they have a short course titled Introduction to Fashion Law. I think this course is relevant for you. And yep, I think this brings us to the end. If you have any question, it will be a delight to answer your questions. Please put your questions in the comments and I will just address them while we close. At Obsidian Advisory, we offer career coaching. I'm also quite active in social media, the Fashion Career Coach. You can check us out and you can send us a private message if you think you need a private coaching session to just clarify your journey in the fashion industry, help you decipher which opportunities are best for you. Uh, Currently, there are no questions. I will take that this webinar has been helpful and insightful. If you think this webinar has been useful for you, kindly share with your friends and industry colleagues. Till next time, this is bye bye. Have a great afternoon and thank you for joining this webinar.